Hey traders, checking out of the stock market today. Bulls keeping their control. Our high flyer, volatile names staying extremely strong in the AI sector. Crypto names strong. Bitcoin trying to squeeze some shorts. And really this morning was dictated, in my opinion, by Apple. We know Apple is extremely important. We had a couple sectors doing what the bears needed to do as far as XLF and XLV confirmed hourly downtrends, and both broke the low of yesterday first thing. QQQ then had a little 5-minute downtrend at the open. So at this point in time, right here, you confirm that 5-minute downtrend, and I'm saying, okay, we're getting a few check marks for the bears here. We might be rolling over into a red day, and I was very open to that. And then instantly knew to be watching Apple, and Apple held the low of the day. It stayed a lead bull from there, and I was able to, at this point in time, make a statement, just a simple statement. And again, I love to make as simple a statement as possible, just in terms of logic, if-then scenarios. If Apple does not break the low of the day, then QQQ bears aren't going anywhere. And so we didn't break the low of the day. Apple, we had some news, I don't know if it's antitrust news or whatever, we recovered. In the end, Apple closed at the high of the day, continues to ride up EMA 12, and is now testing the double top, or I should say approaching a test of the double top at 157, and could potentially be a break at that level, could be fuel for the NASDAQ bulls to head to higher highs. So at this point in time, again, Apple is the general of the tech sector names and the general of the market as far as I'm concerned. And the bears have to take it out. And if they don't take it out, then we're not going to anticipate any kind of notable weakness. So keeping a close eye on Apple. Again, I very rarely trade Apple, but I'm watching it constantly because of its importance. SPY was a daily inside bar. Green, nothing, notable. It feels, I have to be cautious with my perception because the names on my screen, here's my Fidelity screen that I'm trading here, and you got plus 29%, plus 9%, 27, 18, 12. So I have to remind myself, okay, I've got a lot of the volatile names up there. Tesla up over 2%. So there's definitely a lot of green, and the bulls definitely have control, but SPY is not doing a whole lot in terms of showing a lot of strength the last 3 days. It's more sideways the last, from the close on Monday, more sideways. But again, it's that kind of scenario where sideways is bullish because the bulls don't have to prove anything to us. So SPY is looking up at 415.05, 416.49, and then 418.31. And we got an hourly uptrend as our guide. Nice tightening range where we had the CPI reaction, lower high yesterday, higher low this morning, and then a little bull break, but still the high of the CPI reaction in play. And again, NASDAQ's leading the way up. So hourly uptrend is our guide there. And we just got 311.03 and 313.68. And we are about 1.2% away from heading to higher highs as the bulls continue to ride daily EMA 12 support and continue to hold the weekly stair-step pattern. And I talked a lot in a crypto video earlier today about the dollar and the correlation with the dollar and how it shifts. And again, if you just showed me the dollar chart today, knowing what we've seen in the last 6 months, I would say crypto and stocks are probably red today. And that's not the case. So just want to remind ourselves that correlations are constantly shifting. It's not a tick for tick inverse correlation. Sometimes it is, but if you zoom out for the last 5 years, far more often than not, the dollar is not inversely correlated to the broader market. So watching to see if that correlation shifts. It certainly did today as the dollar bulls broke 103.96 and technically confirmed a daily uptrend. But again, stocks shrugged that off, just like stocks shrugged off the higher than anticipated CPI numbers. So just sticking to price levels. Bears have to prove to us. Again, just waiting for all major sectors to hit the low of the day at the same time. We've seen that signal maybe twice in the last 5 weeks. It'll be notable when it happens, but it needs to happen multiple times in the same week if that's going to be a notable weekly pullback. So I only watch the dollar on the longer term time frames. I care about the monthly, weekly, daily. I know some people are zoomed in, and if that helps you, then absolutely use it. But again, I'm very unattached to this correlation. And Google TheChartGuys correlation, I got a whole video talking about correlations a lot more in depth. Tesla. Tesla up at the high. So broke 214, not a lot of follow through. It is a double top with an extended hours level. 214.50, 214.66. We're over that level after hours right now, but worth keeping an eye on that resistance. New support is 209.68. And what Tesla, again, Tesla and NVDA just trading so similarly over the past few weeks, that will change. But for now, they're correlated. 2 days of a pullback off EMA 12, back up to the high. 2 days of a pullback, one real day, off EMA 12, back up to the high. So both of these names bounced from oversold conditions this morning, where we dropped down to 5-minute oversold. The 15-minute RSI got right down to 30, and then a very significant bounce from there. I had a better trading day today than yesterday. And again, I'm struggling to be confident, bullish from a swing perspective with the weekly stair-step pattern, just knowing consolidation is inevitable. But I'm able to disregard that and be bullish the really strong individual names, which we're going to look at. And I'm definitely watching QQQ for clues. But, a name like AI up 9% or a name like SI in crypto up 28%, not really reliant on the broader market much. For little periods of 15-minute consolidation, it's influenced, but I'm a lot more comfortable going bullish those names where we have tons of space for hourly higher lows. So I watch for those hourly higher lows. And the low of today on Tesla was an hourly higher low. Same with NVDA. So still testing that resistance. Next level, if we clear 214 convincingly, is 223.80. And again, we've got space now again to maintain the daily uptrend. We can pull back 10% and still look for a higher low. So that EMA 12 on the daily is going to remain our guide. NVDA is a daily inside bar. Again, the weakness this morning was an hourly higher low and definitely was weaker than Tesla today, but decent little recovery there on the bounce, multiple percent. And again, this volatility in both directions on some of these names where 3% drop, 2% bounce. Enjoy it while it lasts, because again, we are going to enter a market environment again at some point, whether it's a year or 4 years, I don't know, when a 2% move for the entirety of a day is going to be a big move on some of these names. But not now. So semiconductors and NVDA bulls still holding strong, SMH holding daily EMA 12, and again, just right back at the highs, testing those highs right now. And again, I keep calling it a bear frustration market because that's where the pain is, and we can definitely see another leg up and squeeze out these short-term bears that have been grabbing their positions over the last couple of days, or I should say the last week and a half. Very open to the bear side, but only with proof. Give me a reason. I'm not just going to assume that consolidations do or macro reason XYZ. Show me the details that I know to be looking for. And we've gotten a couple of them, but we're not getting the big ones that matter. All major sectors at the low of the day together. XLV, so the hourly downtrend did confirm. And the bulls need to hold 131.04 or 03 and break 134.01 if we're going to see continuation here. Healthcare definitely still the weaker sector. We broke the weekly stair step bullish, but not a strong bounce at all. So this is still in the bear column. XLF is still in the bull column. It broke the low of yesterday, but tightening up sideways. Bears are hoping this is a distribution pattern where there's, unloading of positions while we trade sideways. That's what a diamond top reversal is oftentimes. Diamond top reversal is the sideways range up at the top of a bull move that is distribution before a pullback. But again, just keep a simple statement. If 3607 does not break, the XLF chart remains all bull. IWM, getting some bounce follow through. Still anything under 199.26 is just a daily lower high, but starting to get a bit more retracement now. Biotech bulls are hoping it's a laggard because it is still weak. Daily inside bar today, bear flag still on the table. These bulls need to get over, really they need to get up over 88 if they're going to start negating the daily bear flag. So they've got work to do. If we continue to see strength in the broader market tomorrow, we're going to be watching these laggards. We're going to be watching the biotech sector to catch up. I highlighted MSOS, US Cannabis, yesterday. It's testing 710, trying to confirm the first daily uptrend in months. It's trying to act as a laggard. Still work to do. AI, big bull follow through. So nice return of volume and volatility. Again, zooming in, there's just Nice little 5-minute tightening range, breaks bull at 24.03. Quick 2% plus of follow through in 5 minutes. So just really nice volatility in these names. And again, I'm trading way better the last 6 weeks versus the 6 weeks leading into the end of the year because of the amount of volatility. It's not just because things are going up and I'm going long. That's definitely a part of it because I'm a better trader in strong markets playing the bounces for higher lows. But again, this volatility is a very welcomed sign. So going to be watching the hourly uptrend as our guide for AI. Low of today is a new hourly higher low. Anything above the low of today tomorrow will be another hourly higher low. And resistance from here, 27.50, 28.40, and bulls are hoping for a quick weekly higher low. And again, the other AI names are on fire as well. SOUN, let's just look at the list here. BZFD, coming back from the dead. RBLX, some of the larger cap names, but a lot of green all around. Microsoft and Google are inverse to each other recently, and we're now seeing Google with the daily bounce. It went from a lead bear, and today was a lead tech bull. And we could see that a little bit. One of the things I highlighted pre-market was bears need to take a step back and give the bulls some space. The bears had complete control for 5 days, and yesterday, the second half of the day on Google, the bulls showed us, okay, that's the most convincing bullish move we've seen since this weakness started. And they followed through with it today. So again, it's important to recognize, yes, we've been weak. We've had a bearish correlation. Correlations constantly shift. The bears had their run. Take a step back as a bear because we know that there's, both sides of the scale, both sides of the pendulum, and the pendulum just swung. And so now the bulls get their turn. We're going to scout the daily lower high with tons of space for it to form. But my point is, while Google is bouncing here, Microsoft is starting to show relative weakness. Today it was down 0.8%. Only red tech name, well, I take that back. Meta was red. But Meta's a potential bear flag. Meta bears are positioned well if QQQ consolidates back into gap-filled territory for Meta. So, but again, only if QQQ consolidates. So I'll be keeping an eye on Meta to see if that shapes up. But my point is Microsoft, after being a lead bull for a long time, just today, let's go to Microsoft divided by QQQ. We'll see it. Just the biggest red day in 3 weeks, I bet. And, well, yes, that's true. But these ones, we opened higher. We opened stronger. And by the end of the day, we gave some of that back. This one was a gap down and a weak close. So it's definitely the weakest relative day since this started. And again, it's just the inverse with Google. We just saw the scales do that. MARA, huge move over the past 2 days, 35% move, increasing bull volume. Bitcoin is squeezing some shorts. Look at crypto today. Bitcoin weekly bull flag, trying to confirm back test of EMA support, testing the high right now. And so crypto names had a really good day because of the strength in crypto. And you look at MARA, still not close to those highs. MARA is still 15% away. More than that? A little more than that. But again, just a strong hourly uptrend. 5-minute time frame. Very similar to yesterday, just riding up. 15 minute was the most clear. Look at the EMA 12. Just holding that all day. Yesterday we were bouncing off of it. Again today. When we lose 15-minute EMA 12, we'll look for hourly consolidation. There's a lot of back burners as well. AI and MARA and Riot. SI is a new name that I started paying attention to this morning after the bull day yesterday. There's a mini short squeeze trying to take shape here. If we get over 24.71, things will open up a bit. So it was up 28%. Traded that today. A lot of strength in the subsectors, the little specialized subsectors. Metals are staying weak. Gold and silver still near their lows. Miners, fresh lows. And again, I've mentioned that I've been a silver short, and I would be taking profit in silver right now, first daily oversold conditions, if the position was larger. But being a swing position, I left it smaller. So I'm going to keep letting it play out a little bit. I'd like to see gold officially start monthly consolidation. close. Silver already did it, but I want to see gold do it because that was the trade. That's why I entered short, was for monthly consolidation in the metals. And then we're going to look for a monthly high or low in a month or two. Oil still trying to hold a daily high or low, 4 hour. Losing clarity for me, so sticking with the daily. And again, just chopping around. Nothing changing while we're in this range. And natural gas back in the equilibrium. We broke resistance. If you look at the futures, we broke resistance by 0.5% and then fell right back in. So I headed into today saying, I might be starting to trade oil on a daily basis because at that point in time, we had this 4 hour high or low set and a potential 4 hour bull flag. And so if we did that, then I'm going to trade oil all day today. But pre-market, fortunately pre-market so I could save my attention, but pre-market here at 8 a.m., we dropped down and broke that support. And as soon as that happened, I said, nope, not interested. Because if we were going to remain strong, that support needed to hold and we needed to see continuation. And because it didn't, we're right back in the 12-hour equilibrium. So I'm just viewing this as a double top at resistance and back down to testing support. So I will be open to trading oil on a day trading basis once this weekly bounce gets going, but it's not going yet. And I'm being very patient because I don't care if I miss the bottom. So some trades I took today. Started off with a 25% day loser, just the same thing as yesterday, where I grabbed a little bit of a bear position. And my timing was nice because I grabbed it. Nope, too early, I think. Either way, I stopped out. And it was just, again, another one of those things where, okay, XLF, XLV breaking support. We're close to rolling over. If Apple breaks the low of the day, this is going to be a nice win. And it didn't, so I just stopped out when the high of the day broke. It might have been right there. Just a quick little morning entry to give myself bear exposure. If we roll over, we don't. Stop out, 25% day loser, no biggie. And then from there, it was a lot of Riot. I keep trading Riot a lot. Both directions. Again, there's still opportunity in both directions. When you can go up 6% in 20 minutes, and then you drop 4% in 10 minutes, 5% up, just a ton of, I'm just, day trade scalping these moves. And I took a Tesla short that worked out, knew to exit quickly, fortunately, should have flipped long, but I played this 15-minute lower high, and the way that I pinpointed the entry on Tesla for that 15-minute lower high was recognizing a bearish reversal pattern on a shorter term time frame. So again, that's trading 101. Identify the most likely scenario on a longer term time frame. I expect a 15-minute lower high because we dropped over 3%, and we would have to shoot up over 3%. It's possible, but it's not most likely. So I scouted this rising wedge, and I saw it forming on QQQ first, and then I saw it forming on Tesla, and so I grabbed that Tesla short. Here's where it was on QQQ. And again, just knowing to be watching for a 15-minute lower high versus the high of the day. But the reason that it was a good trade was because I then was scaling out. Out half, out 25%, out 25%. Why did I exit so quickly? Because a 15-minute high or low is then the most likely scenario because of the size of the bounce retracement. So exited knowing I was looking for the 15-minute high or low, and if it was going to be a perfect trade, I would have flipped long, but I don't generally flip right into the other direction. That's one part of my game that I could improve on, absolutely. But it was a good day. Just a bunch of little trades that added up. Half day maker, here and there. And just enjoying the volatility while it lasts. And again, I'm not comfortable with bull swing entries up here. And I don't have to do that. I can just stick to day trading and keep an eye out to try and see a nice win as a bear when it's time. But just taking advantage of the volatility in the meantime. All right, do good things. Appreciate you watching. Check out that Chart Guys correlation video on Google or YouTube. So picking up story time, still in Costa Rica, and getting ready to move to the little house on the beach to do the house sitting. Still staying at the hostel at this point and exploring the jungle. Lots of hiking trails around and rivers to swim in and fun to be had. Some stray animals. So befriended some dogs and cats that were living out on the road and they would sleep on our doorstep knowing that we were the good guys. This is a cool river spot that, again, everything's just a 5-10 minute walk from the center of town. Ended up getting an ear infection from that water, as my body was not used to the different microbes and things in that kind of environment, but learned some tricks. Obviously, there's no ATM in town. There's no doctor in town. So I ended up just getting some garlic cloves and some olive oil. And you crush up the garlic cloves and put it in the olive oil overnight. And then you use that as ear drops. And you can even just crush up the outside of the garlic clove and stick it in your ear overnight. And so after an elevated temperature and a clear ear infection for about 3 days, it went away and didn't have to worry about it. So nice that some natural remedies could help things out in that instance and didn't have to go to Panama, which is the border where there's the closest real town, but that's a 1.5-hour, 2-hour drive to get to. So I like ants at this point, but these ants are just insane. They would have these trails going along the dirt that would be so walked on by these paths of ant as they're building their nests and taking these leaves that it would literally be 4 or 6 inches lower than the ground around it in these little channels, just where these ants erode the dirt. And then, of course, rain falls on it, and then rain adds to that erosion. But they're literal lanes where the ants are just 24/7 the whole day, just back and forth, thousands of them in their commutes. So the best part about the ocean in the evening is the water and the air is still plenty warm to be swimming. So pretty much until you can't see anymore, the ocean is fair game. And it's pretty much a multiple day excursion to get into the ocean. Some cool bugs. And again, the plants and animals were one of the coolest things because I had never been in an environment that had all these different species, and to just observe them all, it was like a playground of life. So that's Cowboy. Cowboy was a little old dude, and his god was ball. Anything with a ball, that's all he cared about in his life. He was probably double digits age at this point, and he has since passed on, but he was still killing it in terms of running for that ball. As many times as you would throw it, he would go get it. So our job consisted of every morning walking 100 feet to the wide open beach that was to ourselves and throwing the ball for the dogs and playing with the dogs and swimming, and that was it. And this is Baloo. Baloo spoke Spanish and Cowboy spoke English. Baloo was much younger. So if you wanted her to come, you'd say, "Benga!" And Cowboy would give her a run for her money in terms of going after that ball. But they were a great duo to hang out with, so we spent the next 4 weeks hanging out with them. And I'll tell some stories, some dog stories where we fought off wild packs of wolves from the mountaintop. I actually already told that story, so some of you OG TCG viewers know that story. But it's a good one. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good day.